It's Michelle Maltais. I'm sorry. Served as Deputy Director of Audience Engagement until leaving the LA Times in 2017 to form M&G Communications. She also had been the paper's copy editor, broadcast producer, and interactive video executive producer. She writes on a variety of topics, including technology and family, and geeks out on grammar, tech, sci-fi, and movie minutia. Please, let's welcome Michelle.
I first want to say it's such an honor to be here, especially among all these esteemed authors. So thank you for inviting me and for indulging me. This is a work in progress. I think all of my writing is a work in progress even when published, but this one is actually in progress. The working title is America is My Mother's Land. America is and has always been a nation of immigrants. My mother was one of the millions who come here, whose names you don't know, whose lives you've never heard about, but who built this country nonetheless. An immigrant from one of those countries the president equated to excrement. She came here with nothing. Nothing but the drive and passion, the same as the immigrants who came and formed this country. Yet she gave more than many of us born here. And she took the insults hurled at her, those indignities that connect like shackles all people who looked like her, like us, wherever they were from and whenever they came. Black is black is black. This is something I've been trying to impart to my two small children. You see, when I was in school, I felt my skin burn with embarrassment, with exposure, whenever there was talk of black history. I've been trying to figure out how to give them a deep sense of history and pride and resilience in the resilience of our people, the beauty in their fight and accomplishments. My mom was obsidian. Yes, her skin was dark, but I mean she was made of the liquid fire that pushes upward from the Earth's core until it explodes magnificently from a peak far above the surface. That was my mom. Beautiful, hard, cool, solid liquid fire. Her strength was formed from a childhood in Jamaica, surrounded by leaders of all shades and backgrounds, by a country infused with dignity and pride bigger than its own boundaries, an island in a sea of subjugation. Now, this is not the same stuff my kids and I are made of, but they were born into a world in which leadership looks like them. Two, it's a fact, just the way it is, indisputable, unquestioned, and indelible. America is a nation of immigrants. Even as some very fine people try to wipe away that truth from the websites, rejecting the words inscribed at the feet of Lady Liberty. But this truth is written. It is the motto that defines our country, e pluribus unum, and it is fact written within us. That you cannot erase. My mother, like so many other immigrants who have come here over centuries, built up America. Decades after she took her position as a soldier in marches and at lunch counters, she took her nonviolent fight to the classroom in a desert where no one looked like her, forming doctors and judges, teachers and screenwriters, musicians, parents, and CEOs. Jamaica was her homeland, yes, but America is my mother's country. She chose to become an American. This distinction my children and I inherit simply by being born here. Hers came with salving the wounds left from searing humiliations, harvesting the power from emotions too heavy to bear, and muscling the weight of lifting her corner of this country with her might. Ours came with privilege and entitlement, mostly selective engagement. We've not had to fight in the same ways. We've had the privilege of being comfortable, brought up to believe she struggled so that we wouldn't have to. January 2017, we were given a gift, wrapped in insults and impudence. It's called discomfort. Now, discomfort requires attention. Discomfort demands change. Thank you, Mr. Trump, for the gift of discomfort. My 6-year-old has resurfaced for me the resonance of Langston Hughes' poetry. One in particular has been looping in my head, especially when those repugnant red hats or MAGA hashtags crop up. Oh, let America be America again. The land that never has been yet, and yet must be, and yet must be. We thought we could see America rising again as Barack Obama took office and held court. I remember the exhilaration being front and center when Obama was inaugurated, the surge of empowerment and progress, marking a moment when our world seemed to have had a seismic shift. If I'm being honest, all of us celebrating, we were all high. High on the promise, the reflection of ourselves, and the hope the Obamas brought to us, and we thought, to the country. We inhaled and breathed it in deeply. We let it fill our lungs, it went to our heads, resonating and lingering. We exhaled and breathed deeply again. Obama was our drug. We took comfort in him, in a dream being realized. Donald Trump is like a drug too. No, not a cyanide pill. He's one that jolts us into uncomfortable clarity, discomfort. Donald Trump is discomfort, the gift to this next generation, and one that keeps giving. The best thing we as parents in the Trump era can do is encourage our children to feel the discomfort. Not coddling, protecting, and making everything magical. Living with discomfort doesn't mean teaching our children to endure pain. It's more about teaching them to see inequity without turning away. To speak truth to power, to agitate and advocate and stand up with passion, purpose, and conviction. We do our children a great disservice by twitching to ensure their every comfort. Comfort yields complacency. Complacency is sitting back on your heels. Embracing discomfort is standing on your toes, ready to act. Discomfort encourages growth. Though my children were not wrought of obsidian, they have the requisite elements within them and the opportunity to act. I am my mother's daughter, and my goal must not be that her American grandchildren live comfortably, but they receive the gift of discomfort and harness it to help make America the land it yet must be.